Truth of the matter is that, they tell a story about a community that just chose a rabbi here in America. They chose a rabbi. And the rabbi, as usual in the community, goes ahead and he gives a drasha. And Shabbos, he gives a drasha. Before lining, gives a wonderful drasha. In any case, a week goes by, and it's once again Shabbos. And the new rabbi, what does he have to do? He has to give again a drasha. And let me tell you, my friends, he gives the same drasha that he gave the last week, verbatim, word for word, every single word, the same drasha that he gave last week. Comes the third week, and he gives a drasha, and once again gives exactly the same drasha that he gave the first week and the second week. No, the president of the community comes over to the rabbi and says, very nice, we really enjoyed the drasha, but once, it's good, twice, but three times to repeat the same drasha again and again, it's a little bit more than enough. So the rabbi tells him, my friends, I gave the drasha once, gave the drasha again, and I didn't see anybody do anything about it. I didn't see that you fulfilled what I asked you to do in the drasha. So I had to give the drasha again and again until you do something funny about it. So actually, I was here, Baruch Hashem, last year or several years ago, and we spoke about this idea. And once again, the same idea that we heard from Rebbe Shleimer. Like, for example, why are we celebrating Yud Daled Kislev? What's the occasion of Yud Daled Kislev? Is there many people that will tell us, what do you mean? The Rebbe and the Rebbetzin, they got married on Yud Daled Kislev. Obviously, it's a reason for us to celebrate. Well, it's the same people that probably think that Yud Daled Kislev we celebrate because the Alter Rebbe went out of jail. And Tes Kislev we celebrate because the Mittler Rebbe went out of jail. And Chanukah we celebrate because there was miracle with this Pach Hashemen. My friends, there couldn't be anything further than the truth. There couldn't be anything further than the truth. They tell a story, that sometimes you're missing the point. They tell a story about that there was once a community in the Altstadt, in the old city, that in Europe, in the old country, that a certain little shtetl, they didn't have a rav in the shtetl. And what happened in that particular shtetl, from time to time, a maggid would come to that shtetl and give a drasha. They would hang up signs, tzaddik boleir, and everybody would gather together that Wednesday night, everybody should come to the shul to hear the drasha. And after they hear the drasha, then the person who gave the drasha, the maggid, would go from home to home and collect a couple of dollars, I don't know, a ruble, whatever it was, and this is how we live. In any case, he comes to this little town and he makes signs, tzaddik boleir, and everybody gathered over there in the town to hear the drasha from the maggid, and he starts giving his drasha. And all of a sudden he notices that there's this gentleman sitting over there in the corner near the back of the shul, and he's giving his drasha, and that poor person starts crying. Mamish nishpach, he starts crying and crying and crying. Well, the maggid sees that this person, that his drasha is really, this drasha really affects him, so he gets more involved in the drasha. Instead of getting the drasha for a half hour, he gets for 45 minutes, 50 minutes, he's giving his drasha, it's really, and this person stands and is crying and crying. Comes at night, and the next day he goes from house to house to collect a couple of dollars, knocks on the door of one of the homes. Oh, this is the person that was crying, that was so moved by his drasha. Invites him into the house for a cup of tea, sits and drinking tea together. Then he asks him, what was it over there by the drasha that I gave? Was it there a Seder Numen, that caused you to be moved so emotionally, that caused you to be so taken? So he tells him, when I was a little boy, my father gave me a goat, a kid. B'meshech the yarn, the kid grew up. And I was very, very close and very attached to this goat. Now, this goat died 2 weeks ago. And you're standing over there with your white beard going up and down. That reminded me of the goat. I started crying. Sometimes we miss the point. Sometimes when we hear a drasha, sometimes we hear a, they tell the story. And the same is true, I think, with Yud Daled Kislev, and not only Yud Daled Kislev, but all the days of the Kislev. Like Rabbi Shleimer mentioned, they tell a story about Bibi. Bibi one time came to the airport in Eretz Yisrael, and he mit so einem Hasei herumgekuscht, herumgenommen, and hugged him and kissed him. So Bibi says, oh, that's very nice. I really appreciate the friendship. But why hugging? So he says, in my eyes, you're like a Sefer Torah. You're like a Sefer Torah. She's like a Sefer Torah. Why like a Sefer Torah? He says, every week a new parsha. Every week a new parsha. By us, it's not every week a new parsha. The Rebbe taught us that it's all one continuum. All the days of Kislev, it's not everything a new parsha. Like Rabbi Shlomo explained to us, the Yud Daled Kislev, Yud Shvat, and everything, it's all connected. Similarly, everything that lies in the month of Kislev, and not everything that lies in the month of Kislev, is connected to Parshas Shavua, it's connected to continuum that there is throughout the year. It's one flow. It's one connection that there is between all these things. And perhaps one of the things that we know about Kislev is, go into it, what's the secret that lies behind the month of Kislev? Is what's the mazel of the month of Kislev? And mazel, what's the word mazel? Mazel comes from nozel, from the word fluid. So in modern English, it's the flow of the month. What's the mazel of the month? And then many things are explained by the mazel. So the mazel of the month of Kislev is the bow. What does it mean, the bow? So the Tzedek explains about the bow that we see in Parshas Noach. How is the rainbow? How is the rainbow a bris between the Eibishter and the mankind during the and that he's not going to bring any more a flood in the world? So the Tzedek explains a very important idea, because what is a rainbow? A rainbow is when there's drops of water in the sky and the sun shines, and the drops of water cause that the light that comes from the shine should refract and get broken up, and then you see the beautiful colors of the rainbow. So one of the secrets of the rainbow is that if it's a very, very cloudy day, and the clouds make that the sky should be opaque, and the sun of the rays of the sun cannot come to the earth. No. You don't have to excuse yourself.
I would love to share.
Okay. Va'an? So what's the rays of the sun? What's the idea behind a rainbow? So when it's very opaque and the sun shines, what do we see? We see nothing. There is no rainbow. And then when it's a very clear day, when there's a very clear day and there is no clouds in the sky and the sun has no difficulty and challenge in reaching the earth, you don't see a rainbow either. When do you see a rainbow? When is the beautiful lights of the colors of the rainbow revealed? Only when there's a challenge. Only when there's clouds. Only when there's an obstacle. And the sun cannot come directly to the earth. But the sun overcomes that challenge. That sun overcomes the darkness. Then all of a sudden the wonderful pnimius, the beauty of the pnimius is suddenly revealed. That is the secret of the rainbow. And that's the secret of Chassidishe Kislev. That each one of these obstacles and each one of the challenges that the Rebbe made, and also the story of Hanukkah, is that in spite of the fact there's obstacles, in spite of the fact that there's challenges, in spite of the fact that there's difficulty in arriving at the destination that you wanted to go, nevertheless the obstacles are there to make us stronger. The obstacles are there in order for us to grow. How does the Rebbe explain that the sea and the entire purpose and the higher direction that we go during the entire month of Tishrei, the entire work that we do, Rosh Hashanah, says Yom Tshuva, Yom Kippur, Simchas Yisukis, Shana Rabbah, Simchas Torah, and even the Akofis of Simchas Torah is in order for what? In order for us to make the statement in Yel, Vayi Erev, Vayi Boiker, Yom Echad, Vayi Erev, Vayi Boiker, Yom Sheni. What's this announcement? What are we announcing? Vayi Erev, Vayi Boiker. But the Rebbe tells us, no, we're about to go into the month of Cheshvan. Cheshvan is a month of challenges. There's no Yontif, it's a month of darkest. The only way that you can come to Boiker is if you have the Erev beforehand. The only way to reach a new level of revelation is only if you have an Erev beforehand. Only through having Vayehi Erev in the month of Cheshvan can we have a new biker in the month of Kislev. Only through overcoming the challenges that we have, and it's again and again. It's Yom Echad, Yom Sheni, Yom Shlishi. Our entire life is Vayehi Erev. Oh, but then we can reach a new level of biker. We're not going to understand it. If we would have understood the Chumash, we wouldn't have Mishnayos. If we would have understood the Mishnayos, we would never have Gemara. If we would have understood the Gemara properly, then we would never have the Rishonim and the Poskim and everything and all the wealth of beauty of the rainbow that came as a result. And as it says very explicitly in our week's parsha, Moshe Yaakov Avinu tells to the angel, Vayarki lo yochaloi, that they had this big fight between the angel. Vayomer shalcheni ki ola hashachar. It came time for the angel that he had to go. Vayomer lo shalechacho ki im berachtoni. What do you mean? He just had a fight with him. He wanted to kill him. He wanted to destroy Yaakov Avinu. How is it possible that he wanted to destroy Yaakov Avinu? How is that all of a sudden he's asking him for a bracha? Is that who he has to ask for a bracha? But the answer is the same answer, my friends. When we have a challenge, the only way you want to get away from the challenge is only in berachtani, is only if I have a new level of bracha, a new level of revelation, if I'm able to reach a higher level. And that's perhaps the secret of Yud Kislev, the entire month of Kislev, which that includes also, of course, Yud Daled Kislev. Yud Daled Kislev, we know, well, we mentioned that that's the day that the Rebbe got married to the Rebbitzin. But it's not the day. First of all, like mentioned before, that we don't celebrate these days because they happened, I don't know, it's Kislev a couple 100 years ago. The Rebbe got married close to 100 years ago. No, we don't celebrate these days because they took place many years ago. We celebrate today because today is the day we can get additional kaiches, additional energy, additional light in these very aspects of that particular day. The fact that the Alter Rebbe went out of jail, Yud Daled Kislev, teaches us what is this day. This day is a day not now, not from 100 years ago, but since Ma'aseh Bereishis, Yud Daled Kislev is a day. Since Ma'aseh Bereishis, Yud Daled Kislev is a day. We're not celebrating days that took place many years ago, but we're celebrating the day, and the responsibility is upon us to utilize the day today. Not only zichronis, but wow, to internalize the secret of the day. And what's perhaps one of the secrets of the day is that when we go ahead and get married, and I don't know, the Bachram haven't gotten married yet, but you've been by chasanas. And one of the brachas that you make by a chasana is Baruch Atah Hashem Yotzer Adam. Why do we make this bracha Yotzer Adam by a chasana? You know, as soon as the baby is born, you should make the bracha Yotzer Adam. Okay, you don't want maybe that the baby shouldn't, the parents can make a bracha, but for sure when you get bar mitzvah, maybe you should have made the bracha Yotzer Adam when you got bar mitzvah. Why do you wait till you get married, till you're able to say Yotzer, till you make the bracha Yotzer Adam? Well, one reason is that, Zochav in a cave of Baram, that once again, you cause that there should be a male and female. But let me tell you a secret of a chasana. Many people think that when they get married, they're going into a partnership. And when you go into a partnership, then everybody invests in building the business. And some people think a chasana is also a partnership. Two people get together to build a Jewish home. My friends, nothing could be further than the truth. Because when you go into a partnership, every partner expects to get out of the partnership more than what he invests, more than what he puts in. When you get married, it's a question of giving unequivocally, of giving without limitation. It's just complete giving yourself 100%. And that's what happened Yud Daled Kislev. Yud Daled Kislev, like Rav Zarchi mentioned, that's because of the chasna that Rebbe said that that was the pivotal point that made the Rebbe decide, just to give himself over. When the Rebbe decided to become Rebbe, it was just a complete self-sacrifice, just completely giving himself over to the without any regard to what he stands to lose as a result of that. we too have to walk in that same way. And we too have to take from Yud Daled Kislev to be ready to give ourselves over completely, without any regard what we may get, regard what may be the result. And so, if we really go in that way and give ourselves over to the inyanim that the Rebbe asked us to do, there's no question that Zuzammen wird wir können durchführen, kommen vom Mashiach, beim Herr wie Amen.